Hello, everyone. My name is Elise Bryant. I'm here with head men's basketball coach Blake Mellinger. Coach, how are you today?
Doing great, Elise. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Well, just to jump right into it, COVID-19 has obviously altered a lot of what y'all are doing, from practice to workouts to the first season or the first game of the season being pushed back nearly a month. So, how are you all kind of adjusting to this new normal?
I mean, really day by day. Um, I do think our guys have done a really good job. Like so far, knock on wood, we've had no positive tests all the way from the beginning of the semester. So they're doing a really good job of taking care of themselves and taking care of each other. But at the same time, it's so prevalent right now. We know that it could happen any day. So we have to be adaptive and be ready for change, and when that change happens, just be ready to respond to it.
And then looking ahead to Tuesday's game, the season and conference opener against Tusculum, they return about 9 letter winners from last season, including two of their starters in Trenton Gibson and Brandon Mitchell. Gibson, who led them in scoring, and Mitchell, who led them in rebounding. Knowing what you know about this Tusculum squad, what is the focus going into Tuesday's matchup?
I think first and foremost, we have to keep them off the offensive glass. Last year, they shot 300 more shots than their opponents, which averages out to about 10 more shots a game. They're really aggressive on the offensive glass, so I think that's the number one key. And then we have to they play zone defense, and it's a really good zone, so we have to handle that and be able to execute, and not turn the ball over.
And then looking at your roster, you have six returners this year, including juniors Caleb Carter, Briggs Pierce, and Cameron Whiteside, who have been major players for you guys these past 2 seasons and have kind of stepped up this past sophomore season for them. How are you looking for them to kind of elevate their game as the upperclassmen, as the leaders on this team on the court?
Yeah, I think that's it to a T. We'll kind of go as they go. Those guys have all three of them have been starters since they stepped foot on campus here. So they have a ton of minutes under their belt. So they've been through it. They know what to expect. They know the ups and downs of the season. So I feel pretty confident having those guys out there.
And then just to talk about your other returners, sophomores Joseph Keenan, Drew Green, and Isaiah Parker. So just from what you saw from them last year, what are you looking forward to seeing from them this season?
I think more than anything, just more consistency. Those guys being they were all freshmen last year. Joe was a redshirt freshman, but so they were kind of up and down, and then Drew battled on some injuries, so he missed the second half of the season. So I think they're just, again, they're a year older. They've been in our program a year longer, so they kind of know how we do things and what to expect. So I would expect them to be a lot more consistent for us.
And then kind of reflecting back a little bit on last year in terms of areas where you want to improve as a team, what are you emphasizing this year early on to your team for them to just be better this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, we've got to be better defensively. We struggled to guard people last year. We changed up our defensive scheme, so we're doing some things a little differently this year than we have in the past. But more than that, we just got to be who we are. We don't have to be somebody else. We've got to do the things that we do and do them well, and hopefully that will give us a chance to win games.
And then you have several newcomers on the roster this year. Who from practices early on are you looking at kind of being the next guy up for you from the freshmen and the newcomers that are on this year's rosters?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, the two JUCO transfers, Tyler Lloyd and Jeremiah Huff. Those guys, even though they're new to us, they've got college level experience. So I think that helps. Jeremiah gives us a big body. He's a really good offensive rebounder. A guy that we can match up with other opposing teams inside. And then Tyler can kind of do a little bit of everything. He can score, he can defend, he can handle the ball. So we'll kind of move him around in different areas. And he's another guy that can play multiple positions for us. Then freshman Ben Bryson. He got started a little late. He had an ankle injury early on, so he's a couple weeks late getting into practice, but he's coming along nicely. So, I think he'll see significant minutes early on. And then after that, probably Isaiah McCamus, another kid that can come in, knock shots down, has a really high basketball IQ. So that would probably be it.
And then just going back and looking at Tuesday's matchup, what do you feel like is just the key for y'all to be the most effective and the most successful against the Pioneers?
Yeah, I mean, again, we got to limit their offensive rebounds, and then we've got to, our offense is going to kind of dictate their offense. We have to take care of the basketball and get good shots on the offensive end of the floor, so they don't create turnovers and get out in transition. I think if we can make them score against us in the half court, we'll be in pretty good shape. But we definitely can't turn the ball over. And again, first and foremost, we have to keep them off the offensive glass.
And fans can listen to Tuesday's matchup against Tusculum live on 92.5 WLSD FM. Thanks again, Coach, and good luck.
Thanks, Elise.